Hey gamers, Foxfires here, bringing you an update on ArcheAge. The Hollowtide festival event has begun in ArcheAge. Halloween daily quests are now available that give Halloween tokens, which can be exchanged for cool rewards. Unfortunately, there are some bugs with the quests, so if you're having trouble, try some of the suggestions later in the video. There are ports to the festival grounds in Solus Headlands and Two Crowns. From Ostera, head over to the crafting area and take the Demon Gate portal over to the festival grounds. Once you zone, run over to the tent where you'll pick up your first Halloween daily, the Pumpkins for the Dead Jack-o'-lantern quest. You'll need 5 blue salt knives to carve your quest pumpkin. Then head over to the Snails to pick up your second quest, the Slow Rider. The quest lets you pick up one of 3 colored snails, but don't mount up just yet. The object of the quest is to use the snail to sniff out dropped candy pouches. Usually the ones by the quest vendor are camped. The snails move as slow as snails, so take your regular mount up to the next tent area where the spawns will be less contested. Line up a couple of good pouches near each other and spawn your snail. Click the blue whirlwind looking ability to collect the candy pouch. Some of the pouches drop purple candy, which you need to complete the quest, while others drop yellow or azure candy to make your snail go faster. You'll need 3 purple candies to complete the quest, so you'll probably need a total of 4 to 6 candy pouches. If there's a long distance between pouches and you're out of speed candy, you can use chopped produce to make the snail go faster. Or you can despawn the snail. Just bear in mind that there's a bit of a cooldown before you can resummon the snail. Some players have been getting their snail on the skateboard and skateboarding them to the pouches. I haven't found that to be necessary up by the last tent, so again, you might want to summon your snail up there to start. There are a couple of bugs with the snail quest. If you get disconnected, when you log back in, the quest will have failed. Abandon the quest and pick it back up from the NPC. You will have to start over with your candies. There's a bug sometimes seen with the other mounts too, in that when you spawn the snail, you may not be able to use any of its abilities or dismount. A typical way around this is to walk up to a clickable object that forces you to dismount, like a farm menu or a mining node, etc. However, on a snail in the middle of nowhere, that's not an easy option, so you may have to go to the character select screen and then zone back in. Turn in the quests once you've completed them in order to start a quest called Commemorative Pumpkins that sends you through the adjacent Demon Gate portal to Two Crowns. The first day the Halloween quests were available was disastrous because the festival peace period hadn't been activated in Solus or Two Crowns. However, now you can port without worry. Continue picking up and turning in quests as you make your way over to the arena in Two Crowns. You'll get a quest called Light Up the Night to light 3 pumpkin candles. Once complete, you'll be sent inside the arena. The arena event occurs 4 times per day: 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 10 p.m., and 2 a.m. GMT. That's 3, 7, 11, and 3 London time until the time changes next weekend. The arena quest is the most important because it's repeatable throughout the day and gives multiple tokens if you win. Unfortunately, it's really bugged. In the arena, speak with the NPC Ceremony Guide Verdi. He'll give you the Troubled Spirits quest to touch the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone will spawn at the beginning of the event at the previously mentioned times. Even if you're at the arena on time, touching the Soul Stone can be difficult because players will spawn haulers, use imprisons, summon portals on top of it, and not to mention everyone else in the servers there, making it difficult just to get close enough. To avoid getting unintentionally ported, go to your options menu, hit functionality, and disable going through portals made by other players as a checkbox. After you touch the Soul Stone, you must speak with Ceremony Guide Verdi again. Good luck getting close enough in the chaos. Once you've spoken with him again, your quest line should be updated to the Cheer Up the Spirits quest. You will have been randomly given either a Moonswept or an Esna buff. Be sure to check your buff. This is important because it tells you which pumpkin you must throw candy in. 2 giant jack-o'-lanterns will spawn in the air at the center of the arena, one named for the Moonswept spirit and one for the Esna spirit. On the ground, several dozen meters in front of each one of the jack-o'-lanterns will be a candy bucket of decorations. Stand in the candy bucket area corresponding with the giant named jack-o'-lantern matching your buff. And let the race begin. It's you and the others randomly assigned your buff versus everyone else. If you're in the right area, a UI clickable will appear on your screen. Click it or use the keybind, which is F by default, to bring up the targeting reticule. Aim at your jack-o'-lantern to start the cast bar to throw candy in its mouth. Keep throwing candy until one of the jack-o'-lanterns fills. The jack-o'-lantern of the winning team will stay up for a few more seconds while the losing team's jack-o'-lantern immediately disappears. If you win, hopefully you'll be able to open a chest named Treasure Chest. If you lose, hopefully you'll be able to open the chest named Shabby Treasure Chest. Both are over by Verity. Good luck again getting close in the chaos. Unfortunately, even if you do everything right, the quest often bugs, not allowing you to open either chest. Trying to open either one will give you the error, fails to meet requirements. This is a known issue, and Trion is working on a fix. So you might have gone through all that hassle, only to have to come back 4 hours later and do the event again. Meanwhile, players who don't get the bug rack up a lot more tokens, especially if they win. For me, it bugs about every other time. On the times it succeeded, I've chosen to throw 1 candy in the opposite pumpkin, which you can do by standing in the area appropriate for your buff and just re-aiming the targeting reticule to the opposite jack-o'-lantern. This may or may not help against the bugging. It's just an observation, it's something that worked for me, it might just be a coincidence. Because it bugs for me every other time, one of the things I might try next is to pick up, abandon, and re-pick up each of the quests in the arena. That may or may not help. It's just something to try if you keep getting bugs. I put in a ticket to Trion to hopefully be reimbursed for my lost tokens. No word back yet, but I'll update the annotations when I get a reply. It might help you decide whether or not to fool with a ticket yourself if the quest bugs on you. Now the rewards. The tokens say the vendor is in Mirage Isle. However, right now the vendor is outside the arena in 2 crowns. For 5 tokens, you can get a candy to buff your strength, stamina, spirit, and agility by 30 for 30 minutes. For 20 tokens, you can get a pumpkin yada hat. For 40, you can get a jack-o'-lantern plushie. For 70 tokens, you can get the snail mount. For 70 tokens, you can also get a Arcadian Smart Fishing Rod. And this is interesting because it's comparable to the Santiago's rod. This rod is tradable. And for 100 tokens, you can get a tradable Violet Quilted Pumpkin Coach Bed that restores 150 labor. Players have mixed feelings about the items being tradable. I kind of like the flexibility, to be honest. If you're not interested in one of the rewards to keep, it'll still be valuable to sell. So gamers, I hope you have fun with the Halloween event, and as always, thanks for watching. I'm Foxfires, and this has been an update on ArcheAge.